of Mr. Chanda's arrest. Chilubi Member of Parliament Mulenga Fube has accused the police of abrogating the law and being unprofessional in a manner it is handling Mr. Chanda's case.
I'm going into abduction and with no apology because I think there is need that law and order is done within certain parameters. And these parameters should be parameters within the law of the way things are supposed to be done. If people have been found wanting, and I think there's a maxim that is promoted in natural justice, that everybody is presumed innocent until they are proven guilty. And that maxim is no longer working in Zambia. We have seen and we are witnesses to the fact that there are a lot of people that have been arrested in very illegal way of doing things. But I think it's a message to the church. It is a message to different stakeholders. Even those that sang songs, no, change, 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 change. If this is the change, and I think I want to use two important proverbs to the Zambians. One member proverb says, and I think where we are going, it is a problem of where, if you feel it does not concern you, tomorrow it will be on your doorstep. Today, we have had the camp of the former president taken away, exposing the former president who served the nation for 7 years to insecurity. And I think this should not be tolerated, not in our country. We are a democracy. We chose to go to multi-party in 1991. And I think those credentials should be kept as it is. Zambia has been known as an haven of peace. And if it's an haven of peace, those who are charged with the wills to govern should govern above board. And currently, I can tell you that for those that are excited about this regime, this will be the worst regime ever. It will be worse than Kaunda's regime. It will be worse than the MMD regime. And if people think that the PF was worse, let's should wait for this regime. At the rate we are moving, even when we say there's no Kadahism, me where I come from, young people have been beaten every day and in connivance with the state police, where if young people have gone to complain, so long they belong to PF, then they should be, arrested. Even just last week, I was getting out one of the young people who was accused just for insulting. He was kept in police cells for 7 days, without charge, without anything. And the only case that was given is insulting. But away from that, I am coming back, that I'm appealing to the police, that let them show us.
However, Mr. Chanda's lawyer, Makebi Zulu, has confirmed his client was unjustly arrested on Saturday last week, together with his wife, some of his children, and his other close relatives. He has disclosed that the officers also wanted to know former President Edgar Lungu's close associates through Mr. Chanda on account that he was his DC at the time Mr. Lungu was in government.
Council, we are waiting for you.
You are the only one who's the
Council, my game. Thank you, members of the press. I'm sure you are ready, yeah? No. Council, you can address the press while you are here.
Okay. Our client was apprehended on Friday. And the manner of the apprehension was that he was merely called. And after being called, he was detained. Having been detained on Saturday, we approached the police wanting to access our client. But we were told we couldn't access him at that particular time. Asked as to why, we're not given any reason. They said it was administrative, as it were, and they would let us know. Sunday, on the very Saturday itself, we wrote to the police asking them to let us know the whereabouts of our client, because the relatives were asking where he was, and we also needed to access him to get instructions as to how best we could represent him, and so we would know what the matter was about. Came Sunday, we didn't hear from the police until today at about 10:30. when the police called and said we're at Woodlands at 11:30. Our client was only brought here at 11:30 today. And we have come to learn that during this period of his absence, the police went ahead and took a warn and caution statement in the absence of counsel. And amongst those that were interrogating our client, we have been informed, was a cadre, a UPND cadre, who participated in questioning of our client. Our client was never put in police cells, as it were, but he was put at an undisclosed place in Kalundu. Together with him were his wife, who was only released this morning. She was found at her place on the Friday when he was apprehended. There was a friend to the wife who went to visit who was also apprehended. The garden boy was also apprehended. The driver was also apprehended. And they were all being questioned and have since been released this morning, except for 2 other people whose whereabouts we are not aware of at this particular moment. So our client has been charged to say he's an accessory after the fact relating to a murder that was in Mongo. Kauma? Yes, Kauma, I'm advised. And over and above that, he is said to have concealed a fugitive, when in fact not. The person that the police wanted made himself available. He saw a lawyer. He was to go to the police at the time that the police got there. But the lawyers that he had engaged were at hand to ensure that he made himself available. But what is disheartening is that our client has been subjected to all this period, a period of which was being questioned as regards things that were not related to the subject of the arrest, amongst which was where did the PF get the vehicles that they were using to campaign, and wanting disclosure as to where the vehicles were gotten. Over and above that, he was being asked, you know who related with President Edgar Chagwalungu. So tell us the people that were close or visiting Edgar Chagwalungu in the various places that was going to. So for us, this is a case of victimization, and we intend to challenge the statement that he was made to give in the absence of his lawyers, in that he is a diabetic patient. He was supposed to be on insulin. He couldn't access his insulin, as we have been advised. His family, his wife, having been detained, he was under a lot of pressure, and they made him sign a statement in the absence of counsel, despite an undertaking that they would call us, his lawyers, to be present at that particular meeting. So we are disheartened that we are headed in this direction, and we're disheartened that now the investigations, or part of the investigations, cadres are taking part of it. We're wondering where our clients will get justice. We are happy that we'll be going to court on the 22nd of February, and there we'll make the necessary applications that we need to. But in the meantime, we are obtaining instructions so that we can challenge most of these things in the Constitutional Court.
Any questions, Victor?
Just to clarify on the charges, maybe you can just run us through again. What are the charges that the
Well, there's only one charge, to say he had harbored a fugitive, as it were, a person that is of interest to the police, who is in police custody, a person whom he had facilitated to come into Lusaka for purposes of availing himself to the police, a person who has since engaged counsel to be able to go to the police for purposes of appearing, since the police had stated that they wanted that person, and he was to make himself available to the police. And with that, they have charged him with the idea of harboring a fugitive, or at least the offense of harboring a fugitive, which is not the subject matter over which he was being questioned. The most of the period, he was questioned about things relating to other things as regards the leadership of this country in the
Poor coordination between the Ministry of Small Medium Enterprise and other ministries has risen to an alarming level in Monza district, of a southern province. Some concerned Monza community members have complained there is lack of coordination between the Ministry of Small, Medium and Enterprise because a lot of people in the country are not aware of its purpose. The residents have charged the ministry should have prioritized sensitization on how citizens can form cooperatives and what is needed. They say it is shocking to note that it is only now that people have been made aware 10 kwacha is amount for one to register a cooperative, when a number of people have been made to pay 15,000 kwacha, contrary to the minister's announcement.
5 kwacha that people are paying to register cooperatives. Because you say Bari will fix it, 625 kwacha.
Who is charging that?
There's a service by government called ZAM Services, ZAM Portal. It's under Ministry of Finance. And there are women who are registering cooperatives under registrar of societies. For that process to be completed, you have to pay through that system. And the amount is 625. I have a receipt. I'm not an agent. I'm a community activist. I help people on pro bono basis to register cooperatives. There's a receipt, I can show it to you. So it seems there's no coordination between your ministry and the other ministries. And if we don't clear it, we'll be blaming people that they are stealing when the money is going into government coffers. Somebody mentioned the lady at registration office. She's the one who's coordinating that. So I don't know if, Honorable Minister, you are not aware about that. But that's what is on the ground.
When it comes to voting, persons with disabilities don't even queue. They are the first ones to be considered. And these are facts. Now, with the coming of this ministry, we hope and trust that the Disability Act number 6 of 2012, Article 37, if I'm not mistaken, where business is concerned to promote persons with disabilities, it will be considered. Minister, I know when we are talking to you, we are talking to the President. Zambia is known to use persons with disabilities as the object of fundraising, whereas them, they lower in abject poverty. And these are facts.
We have, I said, we have to make sure that we give you the good conditions to do your business. Open up your company, and if what you want to do is so good, is so nice, we will help you to access the financing for your company. You don't have the startup capital, we will help you, and also help you to get the market.
Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister Jack Mwimbo has cautioned residents in his areas and the general public to desist from engaging themselves on criminal activities. Mr. Mwimbo says he has noted with concern some members of the community taking the law in their own hands by killing suspects to be practicing witchcraft. The minister says most of the people killed on suspicion of witchcraft are innocent. Hence the need for people to stop the acts before they are caught up by the law. Mr. Mwimbo was speaking in Katimba ward of Monze district during the burial of the second longest serving councillor in the country, who was put to rest in his home village.
Yakukwetera pensi kamba mazuva gwakwa muno ivantu bayandaula bajaya ibujaya yoyo wategwa kuti nguwa lo ari muyabuja na uti utigadubulwe tehingwa lo ulo yakujala nankwaya muyakujaya wina ajiba muntu ibumi bweswanyigano obwendere hamweza lezalike nguhi chamutolera mwezuma ari ngamuhiba uti yonse ibabotu babasangu na kungu ibabi baraja lezamwita atwabike mimyoyo ya baba bajala banyina bauki ibaga into abana atuba lumbire kulileza abembere atubarangani nababwesu tutajiti into ihiti twandanye mogo wa mupati kokulomba nobabwesu nogatimba ndamulumba maningi ikubola kuyo mulumba wini gakubola henaruba pe
wande utakyali amuwe kati kuti na muntu iragatara eiro singitwa jana ya tairibyo ya family iwati ya Ruza constituency ya Ruza bajage muntu wawo kababuza income ya UPND ya Ruza era hulumende ya UPND yonse za government ya Ruza jira supabuja na muntu wa moyo boyu wala abunkutwe for him to save from 2001 kusigari ojamba kuti jadi woti bali bona abantu babo gatimba twamba kuti hose twalika manzeso aleza ili mbichande yala kwa manda kulumba kuli ba member of parliament wa Jack Ngembo they have supported the family so twamba kuti a party matu support abo twajana kuti coffee ni mwezi matu myobola rabo twanda kulumba kuli jejo paona lipo gari nkomba abalo ba minister kwali kuzirira abo kuma council goti minina abalo bapa kugwa hili ha kuli babo ba Jack Ngembo mababira bagari kolomba maningi pere mulanchi tonji bulimbo tuberega wawa ati mwali kuti abali bamba olaya bali bamba kuti mwezi umajiri kuti bali twambo tonsoto tulikale mmanza ahulumende inkutwe ya UPND.
3 former Zambia Meteorological Department directors and senior officers have pleaded not guilty to the charge of corrupt practices and abuse of authority of office before the Lusaka Magistrate Court. In this matter, Joseph Kanyanga, 53, overseas Mwangase, 59, and Mukufute Mukelebai, all former directors and senior officers of ZMD, are charged with 2 counts of corrupt practices and abuse of authority of office by public officer contrary to Section 19 Cap 1 of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012. And when the matter came up for plea before Magistrate Dominic Makalachi on 7th of February 2022 morning, all the accused persons pleaded not guilty to all the charges. However, the matter has since been adjourned to 7th of March 2022 for commencement of trial.
3 former Zambia Meteorological Department directors and senior officers have appeared before the Lusaka Magistrate Court for corrupt practices and abuse of authority of office. In this matter, Joseph Kanyanga, overseas Mwangase, and Mukufute Mukelebai are charged with 2 counts of corrupt practices and abuse of authority of office by public officer, contrary to Section 19(1) of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012. And when the matter came up before Magistrate Dominic Makalachi on 7th of February 2022 morning, all the accused pleaded not guilty to all the charges. In the first count, the accused are charged with corrupt practices by public officer, contrary to Section 19(1) of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012. Particulars of the offense allege that Joseph Kanyanga, overseas Mwangase, Mukufute Mukelebai, and another unknown on dates unknown but between 1st July 2014 and 31st November 2015 in Lusaka, being public officers, namely as directors and senior officers respectively, at the Zambia Meteorological Department, jointly and well acting together corruptly, solicited for €12,459 cash each as gratification from GBMS Engineering Limited as an inducement or reward in order for them to to sign the completion statement for the works that were awarded to GBMS Engineering Limited based on contract number, a transaction for the Zambia Meteorological Department, a public body. In the second count, the accused are charged with abuse of authority of office by public officer, contrary to Section 2(1) and 2 of the Anti-Corruption Act No. 3 of 2012. It is alleged that the accused on the same date in Lusaka, jointly and while acting together, abused the authority of office in a manner in which they caused to be signed a memorandum of understanding between Zambia Meteorological Department and ZBMS Engineering Limited, which was for their benefit based on information that the data to be captured needed to be secured when in fact no security measures were incorporated in the memorandum of understanding, a transaction for the Zambia Meteorological Department, a public body. However, the matter has since been adjourned to 7th of March 2022 for commencement of trial. Margaret Shota, Muvi TV News in Lusaka.
We'll take a break on that note. See you shortly.
They'll play a high press to force the mistakes.
They'll dominate the aerial ball. They too tall.
We'll handle the pressure and smash them on the break.
The number 9 has scored in their last 5 games.
The passing will be quick, decisive, precisely. There will be drama in the dying minutes. This match will mean more than 3 points.
They will have the home ground advantage. This is why I bet.
This is why I bet. This is why I bet. Betway.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
She said yes. Yes. Yes.
She said yes!
Chawama! Congrats, bro!
What? We'll be there.
Last Sunday of next month.
Ew, are you here? You may give her the ring.
Everyone, say Tufi life! Tufi life!
One day, I'll give you the world.
Oh, you already have.
Expert. Anyone can get lucky.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The opposition leadership movement has asked the government to state how many youths will benefit from empowerment programs in the first phase. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV News, party media director Tatila noted with concern that despite the government creating the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, it has not stated how many youths will benefit from empowerment programs. Mr. Tatila has since demanded government should give a clear roadmap so that youths can be assured of benefiting fully.
Located in the rural parts of Mansa, this is Kalawa Chiefdom. The area has over 30 villages but has no police post, which has contributed to a rise in criminal activities. A neighborhood in the area narrates some of the challenges they face due to lack of a police post. Residents of Kalava area in Mansa district of the Pula province have appealed for a police post to help them curb crime levels. The residents want government to quickly put up a police post in the area, stating crime levels have reached an alarming level. Pefias Mwape has told Muvi TV News Kalava chiefdom has over 30 villages and is over 50 kilometers to Mansa where a nearby police post is, which makes it difficult for people that commit offences to face the law as they depend on the neighborhood watch. Located in the rural parts of Mansa, this is Kalava chiefdom. The area has over 30 villages but has no police post, which has contributed to a rise in criminal activities. A neighborhood in the area narrates some of the challenges they face due to lack of a police post. They now make this appeal to government. As a result of not having a police post, those that commit offences are put in a room that the community has provided as an alternative cells. Helen Chisha reporting for Muvi TV News in Mansa. The opposition leadership movement has asked the government to state how many youths will benefit from empowerment programs in the first phase.
On the ground, first, immediately the New Dawn government came in power, we saw the creation of SMEs ministries, where Pastor Erastus Muvanga is the minister. But like we many of us in the leadership movement do empowerment, we want to question the New Dawn to say, what is your target group? How many people do you want to empower in the first quarter of 2022? You cannot wake up and say we want to empower everybody. What is your target group? When you talk about people in various towns, they are forming cooperatives. How many cooperatives does the New Dawn wants to be formed in the first quarter? These are the issues that they must answer to the Zambian people so that more people are clear. We can't have a country where all the people they are forming cooperatives. It's not possible. So like here in Eastern Province, people have to know in Chipata, people have to know in Lundazi, people have to know in Chipangali and many other places to say the CDF that has come is so much and the target group that will benefit from the CDF is this in the first quarter. The target group that will benefit under the Ministry of SMEs is such a group. We also believe that there are quite a number of companies that have been formed under PACRA, and the Ministry of SMEs must take advantage of those.
Faira Member of Parliament Emmanuel Tembo has declared he is ready to lose his life in an effort to have the mine open in Lower Zambezi of the Wanga district. Mr. Tembo says most of those opposing the opening of the mine by Mwembeshi Resources Limited are speaking out of ignorance due to what described as misinformation the public has been subjected to. He says that the mine activities will not affect the people or the wildlife animals living in there, stating it is a small portion of less than 1% where the mining will be taking place. The lawmaker was speaking when he featured on Muvi TV's The Assignment on a Sunday evening.
That there's animal life there, there's other issues there. What I said was, when God created this world, He created everything else. You see, before you go in a house, first you you build a house and you put everything, then you stay there. So your job is to look after that as the house serves you. So the issue, when God created this, man must have dominion over everything else and tender these things. Now, the question is, the animal, between animal and the human life, which one is more important? In my view, and I think it's a fair view, it's human life. So the reason being that man must survive. Now, it does not mean man should destroy the animals. And this is not what is happening, and that is clearly misinformation. What is going out is that the whole game park will be turned into a mine, which is not true. It's only less than 1%, not even 1%, less than a percentage. And what has happened is that the way where animals are.
Do you believe, Honorable, that from the less than 1% area you're talking about, there are still animals there?
Okay,
and if there are animals there, where are we going to take those animals?
I'll come to that. Yeah. So the area where there's a habitation of animals is further away from where the mining is active. Remember I told you, where the mine is, that's where Senior Chief Mbuluma's palace used to be, and people were there. So they were moved out because of the richness. Because you see, we have beacons which were put there by the BSA company and many other explorers. So these things are known. That's why I'm saying that for us Zambians, we can't see what the real issue is. There's more to what our naked eyes can see. So what has happened, animals live on the other side. And you know they're always moving into Mozambique, into Zimbabwe, and so forth. Now, what I wanted to say is that today, mining is not as we understood way back in the 70s, in the 80s. You know, let me give you an example. I've just realized also that technology has really moved. You know, the last time I had the press conference was probably 15 years. Yesterday at the press, on Friday we were preparing. I was wondering, how do we serve the media? Perhaps I need to get invitation and physically drop this lead. Me and my personal assistant actually were, then she told me, no, let's go to Misa. When we went there, it's so easy. You just give one person and it was all over. I didn't have to move around. In similar manner, mining has also moved. Firstly, there's sound which is supposed to disturb the animals. Even with a distance, let's assume, like you have said, there's closeness. That has been dealt with. There's what they call green mining. Secondly, there's water. There was a fear that water will come and, first I've said there is a distance from where the rivers are, and yes, there are minor rivers on the side, but the same water is a resource, and the water must be processed for use. Because you see, the way life is just a cycle. The same water, we drink, it goes in the toilet, it's cleaned up and it comes up. So even the water from the mine, you don't throw it away. It can be processed just there and there. And all this we've had, and let me say that, we've been so hard as a community, on the mining company. And the government has been so tough. And, we are happy with all these issues the environmentalists, or whoever it is, have been raising. Because also it has awakened the mine owners that really, even as we mine, we have no choice but to observe, otherwise the mine is. So the other issue we need to discuss is that, you see, mining is governed by a number of legislation. The first being the Mines and Minerals Act 2015, and there were area acts. But other than that, you see, for mines that are in the game parks, there's the Wildlife Act will come in, and other legislation. So what happens is that the Mines and Minerals Act actually allows mining in a game park upon meeting a number of conditions. Which conditions are what the ZEMA has given and which the mining company has actually been able to meet. So, because we've taken keen interest, because this issue is so important to.
Meanwhile, Mwembeshi Resources Limited Director Stephen Mikalile has charged there is what he calls a clique of people from various non-government organizations who have been paid to discredit the well-intended project, but says that will not deter him and his team because the mine is meant to provide employment for the people of Luangwa. He adds that even in the absence of the legal mine, such as Mwembeshi Resources Limited, there are already people mining illegally, the money which does not benefit either the government and the locals.
They're talking from the point, what is happening. There is what we can call for a clique with vested interest. They've got their own interest. They don't want the mine to go through because of their own interest. They know what they are protecting. They're saying the mine shouldn't go through, but right now you know that there are even some illegal mining going on in the same Lower Zambezi. And the government is not benefiting anything. The Zambian people are not benefiting anything. The Zambian people are benefiting when they say, okay, fine, but they're not benefiting anything. Now, you look what is happening. Why is it that the same people are opposed, the same organizations which are opposed, they are sponsoring us? We're not sponsoring anyone to go and start on the banks of Zambezi River. We're not mining on the banks of Zambezi River. They're sponsoring people, they pay them they take them there to go and do interviews there. We are not doing that. All we are doing is we're just stating. And then when you look at this, the same project, it started in 2003. You remember Dr. Late Patrick Monas was a very strict president. After that, there have been successful presidents. It started from 2003 when they did the prospecting investigation. They started doing the geological investigation in the Lower Zambezi. Now, when they gave them the license to do that, what was the intention? You can't give a company the prospecting license to go and investigate if there are minerals. When they find minerals, was it just to end there? During the stage of investigation, the company spent in excess of $40 million. Now, the company spends that. Then they come and say, okay, we found the minerals. Now we need to proceed to start mining the minerals. Can you say, no, you can't? If there was no intention, from the word go, they would have refused them from 2003. This issue has been on for about almost 20 years now.
We'll take a break on that note. Still to come is more news items. Stay tuned.
Presenting Mr. Money!
Airtel Money MasterCard is what I'm here to announce. Take it easy and shop online without a bank account. Spread the word when you promote your business online. Pay for ads, grow that hustle and see your business shine. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Pay for a cab, TV subscriptions, shop and never stop. With Airtel Money MasterCard, just shop until you drop. Book a holiday, catch a movie, it's not that hard. Big and small, you're in charge with Airtel Money MasterCard. Introducing Airtel Money MasterCard. Shop online and do lots more. It's not a card, but works like one. Get one today from the Airtel Money menu. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or 0978 732 412.
On the pitch of life, you've got to choose your game and who you play with. Your people. You get what I mean?
Oh, that is so true, Mr. Easy.
Because when you need a bit of support, there's the people you can count on. People who are there for you, no matter what.
Guess we are always here for them.
Choose who to play with.
With Bet Power, you can chat, message, or call real people round the clock. This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
Welcome back. We'll continue with the news. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Laksan Kasonka, says that children with COVID-19 symptoms should not attend school. This follows the announcement that some pupils have tested positive for COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Zambia has recorded 111 new COVID-19 cases out of 1,979 tests conducted.
303 pupils, teachers and support staff have tested positive to COVID-19 since the opening of schools on Monday, 24th January 2022. Eastern Province recorded the highest number with 162, followed by Central Province with 82 and Copperbelt Province recorded 43. Ministry of Health Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Lakson Kasonka, says children with symptoms should not attend school.
I wish to remind parents and guardians not to allow children with symptoms to attend schools as one of the ways of managing the spread of the disease. It is important that they are taken to the healthcare facility, get examined, and managed accordingly.
Zambia National Public Health Institute Acting Director General Dr. Kaunda Musonda has disclosed that more than 40,000 people from the ages 12 to 17 have been vaccinated so far.
From the time that we started this exercise to yesterday, we have so far vaccinated 40,701 individuals who are aged between 12 and 17. And of course, this covers largely those that are of school-going age.
Director for Infectious Diseases, Professor Lloyd Mulenga, says most positive cases are largely comprised of the Omicron variant.
Genomic sequencing, where we have to sample so that they are the representative sample for those that are being found positive. So the assumption really now is that all these cases that we are picking is largely composed of the Omicron variant. We haven't seen the Delta variant for long now.
In the last 24 hours, Zambia has recorded 111 new COVID-19 cases out of 1,979 tests conducted.
We admitted 8 new patients in the last 24 hours, and we discharged 225 patients from both home management and facility, leaving 2,486 active cases nationwide. Of the current active cases, 2% are admitted to hospital, with 59% on oxygen therapy and 8% classified as critically ill.
Virginia Chilongo, Muvi TV News, Lusaka.
The Ministry of Health says all professions in the health sector will be treated equally in the oncoming recruitment process. In 2021, Finance Minister Situmbeko Msokotwane announced that government was set to recruit 11,000 health workers. Ministry Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Lakson Kasonka, says all professionals in the ministry will be assessed equally.
A demonstration by one group of doctors. Again, I want to reiterate that the 11,200 target for recruitment is not for doctors alone. It's not for nurses alone. It's for healthcare workers. Remember that there are even drivers among health workers who have to drive the ambulance. Those are special drivers. They are also considered health workers. So none of these groups has the ultimate right to dictate when and how they should be recruited. The recruitment exercise has started, but has started from the drawing board to ensure that this activity or exercise is done flawlessly. It is done correctly. It is done methodically and systematically. You know who likes to talk like that. The idea is to ensure that it's methodical and it's systematic so that there's no accusation of nepotism corruption and all those vices that have previously been associated with recruitment. So it may sound like it is taking a bit of time, purely because the system, the exercise have to be done very correctly.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, Executive Director Alex Muvi says the cost of living as measured by the Center on Basic Needs and Nutrition Basket in Lusaka now stands at, for last month, January 2022. He says the prices of selected commodities is attributed to a number of factors, which includes adjustment in the fuel pump prices, which has continued to register an impact on the cost of living, while inflation has also continued to affect the cost of living in the country. Speaking at a media press briefing, Mr. Bieva laments that there is a still need for a sustained stabilization as a key macroeconomic fundamental to stabilize the business environment.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection Executive Director Alex Muvi says the upward movement in the nutrition basket has attributed the prices of selected commodities, in particular items, which signifies 8% cost of living between December 2021 and January 2022. Speaking in an interview with Muvi TV, 7th February 2022, Mr. Muvi says there is need to actualize a robust poverty reduction and development-driven agriculture support program that will support the nation's vision. He also added that the government must ensure that the implementation in progress policies such as free education policy is engineered to achieve in the intended projects.
The CSO Data Alliance has always urged the government to handle carefully the international relations, the bilateral relations between Zambia and China. Because in any conversation to do with debt restructuring, China is the greatest ally, and I think what happens to China affects Zambia, and we hope that, like at the moment, the debt restructuring that is happening under the G20 common framework, the idea is to bring all the creditors on board, and China is one such creditor that must be reined in to participate.
Meanwhile, the Social and Economic Development Production Manager, Chama Mundia, says the country must have a cost of study that will be largely prudent in terms of prices in the country.
The cost of service study, this I think has been a bone of contention over the years. But then when looking at it, yes, there is need for us to have a cost of service study, which would largely be very prudent in terms of informing the direction we take when it comes to the fuel prices, the electricity prices. But then if you just look at the simple conversation at the moment.
Caroline Mwanza reporting for Muvi TV News, Lusaka.
You are still watching Muvi TV's Primetime News. We'll take a break. See you shortly.
One expert. Anyone can get lucky.
So here's how to pay using Airtel Money. Ensure your decoder is turned on and tuned to channel 1. Dial *778#, then select the option that says Make Payment. Select Pay TV, then select Muvi TV. Enter the 12-digit smart card number, then enter the amount you wish to pay. Enter the Muvi TV account number, omitting the dash before the last digit. Then select the amount you wish to pay.
For inquiries, call customer care on 0764 250055 or 0764 250052 or 0978 732 411 or or 0978 732 412.
Presenting Mr. Money!
Airtel Money MasterCard is what I'm here to announce. Take it easy and shop online without a bank account. Spread the word when you promote your business online. Pay for ads, grow that hustle and see your business shine. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Mr. Money, he knows it all. Pay for a cab, TV subscriptions, shop and never stop. With Airtel Money MasterCard, just shop until you drop. Book a holiday, catch a movie, it's not that hard. Big and small, you're in charge with Airtel Money MasterCard. Introducing Airtel Money MasterCard. Shop online and do lots more. It's not a card, but works like one. Get one today from the Airtel Money menu.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Patriotic Front PF member Chishimba Kambwili has called on all PF supporters to work together if they are to bounce back in power. Speaking to Muvi TV News in Lusaka, Mr. Kambwili has urged all the PF supporters to learn lessons from the Kabwata parliamentary by-elections loss and ensure party members work as a team. He has also appealed to those insulting other leaders while hiding in his name to desist from doing so. He has charged that the party needs to be united, as that is the only way the PF will bounce back.
Observed with a lot of concern, I've just been hearing that some of the people have been issuing statements in my name, or they are calling themselves my supporters, disrespecting other leaders of the party. Let me say that my politics are not about division. My politics are there to build. What has happened in Kabwata should teach us a lesson that we need each other. We need everybody on board for us to bounce back into government. And in doing this, we have to respect one another, respect everybody regardless of their position in the party, particularly members of the Central Committee, the former President Edgar Lungu. Let me say that if you are my supporters, really, stop using strong language, abusive language, and insults to some extent against these leaders. Please, I beg you, we need to be united. Let this be the last time that people would be insulting leaders and mention my name that we are Kambwidi's supporters. Kambwidi doesn't believe in those things. I want the party to be united. Particularly, let me mention that I've heard some strong language from Papa Gunase, Mr. Monta, and Mr. Alan Piri. Please, my dear brothers, stop using strong language, or rather abusing other leaders in the political party. We need each other, and the discipline must be the key for us to win the elections. I hope my appeal to everybody, particularly the three people I've mentioned, should make this issue of strong language and accusing people of whatever come to an end. People are free to debate the future of the party, but I think we should not go to the extent of insulting leaders, using strong language, and abusing others.
The government has empowered more than 20 women clubs in Mukoshi district with grants for income generation projects and the Community Development Department. Mukoshi District Community Development Officer Priscilla Mangowani reports that 23 women clubs have been empowered with 12,000 kwacha each to boost their income generation ventures. Mrs. Mangowani elaborated that the clubs are engaged in ventures that
that range from poultry and livestock to horticulture farming. She says prior to disbursing these funds, her office had trained the women in management and enterprise skills as measure of ensuring efficient and effective use of the monies. She says to add this, 84 women have benefited from the Village Loan Bank program, which targets small-scale traders and vendors. Mrs. Mangawani says that 24 of these beneficiaries were selected from Kushu Central Zone, with 28 coming from Kumbi, Chalata, and Masansa zones. She says in this category of empowerment, the beneficiaries access loans that range between 500 kwacha to 1,000 kwacha, adding that the aim is to supplement their existing business capital. She says although the monies have been paid out this year, the groundwork for these programs started late last year. Mrs. Mangawani pointed out women had been sensitized about this program being a revolving fund, saying that the aspect of fulfilling loan repayment was emphasized. Well, we end the news on that note. A recap of the top stories. President Edgar Lungu's ADC arrest as PF officials describes the move as an abuse of authority. Residents of Kalava area in Mansa district appealing for a police post. Monze resident tells the Ministry of Small, Medium and Enterprise to put its house in order. Leadership movement challenge government to set up a clear roadmap on the empowerment benefits. Wambashi Resources Management determined to commence mining activities amid its criticism. Thank you so much for watching. Continue enjoying the rest of our programming.